Today by Julius asked her, can you define anti-Semitism? And she said, I'm going to assume you could read, sarcastically, and she passes the Holocaust remembrance definition of anti-Semitism. If you go to that website, you'll find out something interesting that I've been telling people for 5 years now. The exact definition that she considers, and she's on television all the time. She's a big conservative influencer now, or at least, commentator. And God bless her. She seems like a lovely lady, but those are the exact, that list on that website that she posted, those are the exact list of hate speech phrases that are also posted on the State Department website. And if you don't believe me, Google defining anti-Semitism State Department, go to the State Department website and read the list of phrases. Then go to the website she posted and read the list of phrases. You're going to find out that they're exactly identical. You know what else they're identical to? Every time Ron DeSantis passes an anti-Semitism rule for schools or religion purposes or littering, it's those same exact list of phrases. When Donald Trump passed an executive order saying that college campuses need to stop protests or whatever, he didn't just stop violent protests, which is what these false, commentators claim. He passed those anti-Semitism hate speech rules through Congress, through government, through executive order. It's the same one that Sarah Huckabee Sanders passed. It's the same one that Governor Youngkin passed as soon as he got into office. It's the same one that Governor Kemp passed. It's the same one that all the Republicans and many Democrats are passing. Isn't that interesting? What do the phrases say? Because they always straw man it and they say, no, it's just this, and this. It says that you're not allowed to say Jews killed Jesus. You're not allowed to say that Jewish people own banking and media. You're not allowed to say that people like Ben Shapiro have loyalty to Israel, even though he admits it every single time he talks. He's like, I'm loyal to Israel and you should be too. And you're like, so do you have loyalty to Israel? And then he'll be like, oh my gosh, that's anti-Semitic. It's one of the hate speech phrases. You're not allowed to criticize Israel more than another democratic nation. You're not allowed to mention blood libel, which I'm not even quite sure what it means, but I know that people are always accusing others. Like anytime you say something, they're like, oh, you're accusing me of blood libel. I don't even know what that means, but that seems to be a common thing. It's being passed into law. And if you read all the phrases, it's special rules and special hate speech laws against the Constitution for one race, one religion, and one country. Andrew Klavan never talks about it. Ben Shapiro never talks about it. Matt Walsh never talks about it. Michael Knowles never talks about it. Fox News never talks about it. PBD Podcast never talks about it. Chris Cuomo never talks about it. That's probably why Patrick hired him. Blaze TV never talks about it. Nobody in conservative media ever talks about the fact that Republicans are passing hate speech laws. Isn't that weird? I wonder why. It's almost like they only hire people who won't talk about it. It's almost like they fire you if you do notice that it's happening. Candace Owens would have never got hired if she knew this or said this before she got hired. And once she figured it out and started questioning things, they fired her. They're abiding by these hate speech rules and they're admitting it on Twitter. They're saying she's being hateful. What's the definition of hateful? Oh, it just happens to be these 11 phrases that are being passed through legislation in government. Just so happens to be the same exact phrases that I consider hate speech that are being passed into law in every state or almost every state. Do people not get what's going on? And now that they've successfully outlawed criticism of a foreign country, just basic, obvious truths about people like Ben Shapiro, like, is it really hate? Like, it would be more hateful to say that Ben doesn't like Israel. He obviously likes Israel. He obviously has loyalty to Israel, and he obviously has loyalty to Jewish people worldwide. And there's nothing wrong with that. I respect him more than if he was self-hating. I don't think there's anything wrong with how Ben Shapiro is. It's just diabolically deceptive to then turn around, and he's tweeted this hate speech law just like she did. He's tweeted it on his Twitter, and he says that if you suppose that any Jewish person in America has more loyalty to Jews or Israel, that's anti-Semitic or equal loyalty.